Good day, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Oh, I was having some technical difficulties this morning. My camera's got me looking all purple. Well, it's not my camera. It's some cool lighting. I don't know if it's cool.
It's called some cool gamer lighting.
Yeah, some cool gamer lighting, but it's making me look purple. And I can't do nothing about that, but that's okay. I kind of like purple, uh, a deep purple at least. Hi, Xiaomei. How are you doing? Yeah. What does that say up there? Give Nasir a blessing on Cash App. I would really appreciate that. That would help me help some people, some kids. I'm kind of aiming that way. I didn't tell Squirrel Girl that, but um, I want to help some. We have a whole community that lives in the woods, and they have a lot of kids that live back there. So I kind of want to help them. I'm gonna have a special guest today on here. I'm just waiting on her to show up, but I need my link dropped so that she can show up. Um, so just waiting on that. Should be very exciting. It should be a lot of fun. Um, I feel like my head's huge on this camera, and I'm sitting in the same place I always do. So it's just a little. I got in trouble today for saying
No, for apologizing for
for
saying
for apologizing for saying it's something I do because I try to really think before I say things, and a lot of people just they don't. I don't want to say they don't think at all because they do, but they tend to just run really fast in their thoughts, and I think that's how they get caught with their pants down a little bit. And so I say a lot because I'm trying to think before I say anything. And yesterday, I tried to make a really nice, really professional um, video with saying some pretty nice things about Natasha. And every time I do that, I find myself having to go back, and it kicks me in the butt every time. Not it, she does. She didn't attack me. She didn't say anything about me. I don't even think she saw it. But I said some really nice things about her and said, about how, she runs it as a business. And I didn't really say anything negative about how many times, if I add up all the times with multiple channels, she's been kicked off of. Well, then I have it up to like seven times she's been kicked off and had to start a new channel. So I didn't say anything bad about her. In fact, I talked about her too nicely. I think I'm still. I have this mic down here and it's kind of tall, so it's hard for me to see if I know Squirrel's going to tell me, so I don't have to pay attention to it. I'm just looking for somebody important. Um, so I wish you would come on down.
patient.
I know I'm supposed to have patience, but I'm so excited about this person being my guest. Um, I've wanted to do a round table with her for a while, and I think I didn't write it in my title very good. I think I forgot the word table. Uh, so see, we all make mistakes, but I can fix it later. I'm not worried about that. But I tried to say something nice about Natasha, and how she runs this as a business. But it's so hard to say something bad about good about her, because as soon as I finished it, lo and behold, she came on Kelly the Advocate, and I almost could hear Kelly the Advocate. Well, I heard her say it. I didn't almost hear her say it. I heard Kelly Advocate almost snap into reality when she said that they had been reading in the terms of service that Natasha couldn't come on somebody's channel and run that channel or take over the channel, or that she's not even supposed to be on someone's channel. And just about the time that you could see her, Kelly the Advocate, starting to click into reality to protect herself, Natasha popped up. And she put an end to that real quick. And now, mind you, we're on Kelly the Advocate's channel, not me, but Kelly the Advocate, and all her subs were on there. And she had just got to that thought, the thought that everybody else clicks into. And Natasha popped right on there. And she was like, no, I'm not going to let you get that. I mean, she wasn't going to let her get all the way into her thought, because if so, well, then that would have been a disaster for Natasha again. Because Kelly the Advocate is her big sub, keeping her alive, really, with a place to go. Dorothy does, yeah. I mean, what can you say? Dorothy not only gave her channel to her the day before, she live on her show gave her control, said it out loud. Here, I'm sending you something. Do you see it? Yes. Um, you know what that is? Yes. I'm going to bed, so have a good time. So Dorothy just went to bed. So who do you think is on the screen and totally in control of her channel? Yes, Natasha. Something she's supposed to do? No. She's not supposed to be doing that. Um, so she says she's not banding. What do you call that? You didn't have your channel then. And it kind of, she says over and over, oh, I have 20 channels, 30 channels in the background. Well, then, how come you never came up on them when you were down and out? Why just spend a whole day, the day with Dorothy, crying? I mean, hours worth of crying, just crying and crying and crying. It was sad fishing like I have never seen her sad fish. And she does do the automatic flip over, um, where she'll be sad and then all of a sudden become clear as day. To boo boo boo. Oh, thank you very much. I mean, there's a word for that, and it's not narcissistic. Everybody keeps saying narcissistic, but that's not what I see in her. I see exactly what she is, a sociopath, because I've been around a sociopath in real life long ago, and that's exactly how they're labeled. That's exactly how they're described. And that's exactly what they do. They can be boo hooing on you in 1 second. If you tell them to knock that off, you think they're in this great big crying spell, but they're not. And you say knock it off to them, and they'll just dry up quick as day. And it's an act. Everything they do is an act. So I know people keep calling her a narcissistic person, but that's not how I see her. I see her more of being a sociopath, because she can flick those emotions on or off like snapping your fingers. And I don't know a person who can do that unless they're that type of personality. Um, Squirrel, can you check on my person? Um, I don't know if she knows I'm up yet or not. So it's just I really try to be neutral in, I don't want to bash somebody like totally just go off negative on them. And I'm trying really hard not to do that. But like I said yesterday, I said some nice things about her and some general things about her without bashing. And then to me, I just looked like a fool because she was on and she was back to her same old thing. She jumped on Kelly Advocate's thing talking the same way. And then she made a video that night and she was sounding very condescending, very, like she's the smart, Southern girl. I'm in the South too. And true Southern women, they don't say vile things like that using their Southern drawl. To attack people or to say things like that. She's talking about people using content. Well, why don't you find some better content that it doesn't involve other people? Instead of asking people to find content that isn't, you, um, well, you do. Hold on, I gotta tell my squirrel something because squirrel, I haven't seen my link drop yet.
I haven't got that yet.
I would just drop it.
Okay.
That squirrel's gonna jump across this table and grab me. I've had that happen before, so I won't be surprised. I was in a car one time. I had my window down, enjoying the day, and somebody's here.
Told you.
Come on up here.
You gotta get. Hold on.
Hold on. Let me get your stick
Oh,
because
no, I don't want to be in the camera.
But keep your head out the way.
No one saw anything.
I'm so excited she's here. Oh wait, she's got a phone call.
Okay.
So she said, "Be right back."
Everybody saw my face for like 2 seconds.
Oh well, we're gonna
erase that from y'all's memory.
We're now gonna have to have
no, wrong button. This button.
Well, she went to yeah. There you go.
I know. Copy to clipboard.
Yeah, I'm still learning how to do this. If I didn't have Squirrel,
I'm still gonna put it in the chat.
Yeah, if I didn't have Squirrel, I'd be.
Press enter over there, so I don't have to get in the camera again. Y'all are just gonna see.
I'd be messed up seriously. So y'all just kind of try not to judge my confusion. If y'all knew how many wires I had hooked up and twisted around, and I don't know why they can't make things more wireless because wires are just insane. Hey, there's the link. So hit it and come on up. Now I don't see it. Where'd it go?
Hold on. I see it. It's in the chat. You can't see it from your end.
It says down here at the bottom, devices not connected.
Hold on.
Oh, wait, I see her. I see you. Okay, hi. It says
add to stream.
No, get your head out the way.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm having some trouble.
You know what?
Yeah, get over it. I'm trying, Miss P. All right, there you go.
Hey, Squirrel. Hi, Nasir.
How are you? You thought this was going to be something scary, didn't you?
Yeah, well, again, I've been on several panels as of lately, and every one of them basically have made me out to being like a laughing stock and a joke and have embarrassed me. So I just wasn't real sure if I really wanted to do this.
I understand because I've seen him do that to you, and I don't think that that's okay to do. Not at all.
I appreciate that.
You did your makeup, so you didn't tell your husband, did you? You were getting ready for a date.
No, I didn't. He's over on his computer. He's working on my new merchandise store that we put up the other night.
Well, that's good. I saw that. Why did you change it from um you a block? Why'd you change it from that? Because that was so funny. I think my favorite video that you did about your block bitch was when you said bye.
Right.
It just
User block,
made it.
bitch. Bye.
Bye. That was so funny. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I
Actually,
just
as of next week, my husband and I are meeting with a legal law firm in our area, and I'm going to be having a lot of my things trademarked to where they cannot be copyrighted.
yes, that was the thing. I thought, someone was going to say you couldn't use that because that was
I have had
theirs.
several comments on my channel stating that. And again, like I said, last Friday, I called a legal office here in my area that deals in that field. And I asked the gentleman a lot of questions of what I can and cannot do. And he said, well, I'm out of town until Monday. And I said,
Yeah,
that's fine because he has a business conference, unfortunately. So, but he said that we can get the paperwork started. It is going to cost some heavy money, but I'm limited
yeah.
on income. But again, I'm hoping on through my PayPal donations and everything to kind of get a little bit of help with that. But again, I'm going to be getting the paperwork started and getting that done.
Well, yeah. I mean, you should. I thought you had stopped doing that one and not using it because they thought people might have harassed you or
I
she
still am
might have
getting
harassed
harassed.
you.
I get harassed on a daily basis.
Well, I know you had your microphone set up.
I did. The arm to my microphone broke the other day, so I'm kind of having to have it replaced. So as of
Yeah, but
right now, this is it.
oh, okay, because I thought I saw the video where you said a bunch of people were harassing you, and so you
Yes,
took everything down and blocked a bunch of people. So I
I
thought,
have. I have.
so
I have a lot of people still on my block list because, again, with the constant hate attacks and the threats and everything else, I'm just not going to deal with it anymore. So, it's like if you can't behave yourself and be respectful of me, then don't come on my channel. Do not leave me hate comments or threaten me because you will not get any response out of me.
I totally agree. But I thought you had took it all down and blocked a bunch of people
I
because
did. I
you
did a few weeks back, but again, I just decided to basically start over and see what
okay
happens.
be, okay because I thought you were saying in your video that you weren't gonna do it anymore,
I
and
wasn't. I
I was
wasn't.
like, no. I was like, no. Because, your setup that you had and everything that you were doing, you have the right to do that. I mean,
Thank you. I
they,
appreciate that.
I'm sure people don't like me. And my chat
Right.
is wide open. I don't have but one mod, and that's it.
Right.
I don't allow them. No one, thank goodness, has started yet. I've had one or two in there since
Yeah.
the
Well,
beginning.
again, I get it all the time. And
I
again,
know you
I
do
have made
because
several comments on my community page saying, look, if you don't like me, I get it. Stay off my channel, stay away from me, and don't leave me any comments because you will get ignored. I'm not going to respond to these people.
yeah, I don't respond to them either. I don't care if they put a comment on my thing. I'm just not going to respond to them, and I don't cuss that much, so
Right,
I'm kind of bad. So when they come in my thing cussing, I throw them up on the screen,
right.
and I
Well,
kind of embarrass them, and
yeah.
then I say, if you're going to say that, come on up here, and the next thing you know, they run away. So
Right. Well, again, with me, I have many, many medical disabilities, and one of them is I am bipolar. And with me, I try to be a very kind, respectful young lady for being 54 years old. But again, If I'm having a bad day with all my medical issues, I'm not the nicest sweetheart. I'll just be that honest. And, again, I do have a temper. I'm very hot headed because of my heritage that I grew up in. Um, uh-oh. Did my computer just come unplugged? Hang on a
No,
minute.
you're still here.
Uh, yeah, I came unplugged. Just give me 1 second here. Come here, you. There we go. Okay, I'm sorry about that. But
Oh,
again,
that's okay. We didn't lose you
if
though.
I'm not feeling good, if I'm having a bad day, like I said, I am hot headed. On my mother's side, I'm English, Irish, and Scottish.
Oh
On my
boy.
father's side, I'm German and Black Dutch.
Oh boy. That equals a
So again,
firecracker.
yes, I am exactly, exactly,
But
and I
there's
just
nothing
and
but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if
right,
people think that you're supposed to sit there and take vile stuff said to you, well, what do
right.
they think you're gonna do? Just take it?
Exactly, exactly. Like I said, if I'm not feeling well and having a bad day, I just simply tell people, look, don't get on my bad side. Don't piss me off because if you light my firecracker, I'm just going to flat out go off on you.
And
That's just the way it is.
I don't think that's any different than other people do. I mean,
Right,
so there's nothing wrong with it. That's just
right.
your
But
style
again,
of doing
I've
things.
had a past bad negative record of having a very bad temper and bad attitude. And I have told everybody, I own it. I take full responsibility for my bad behavior. But again, if I'm provoked, just be forewarned.
Well, it isn't
I'm
like
gonna
they
go
haven't
off.
seen
And
it before.
yeah, and I'm not the nicest gal you're speaking with. And truthfully, Nasir, I don't like being hateful and I don't like being ugly
Oh, I don't either.
because normally that's not who I am.
It's not my way either. And if someone can get me
So,
there, if someone can get me there, I put out a stern, don't go
right,
here. Because
right.
hi Kev, I'm or is it TV? I'm bad
Teddy,
with names.
Teddy.
Tevi, thank you
Hey,
so
hi,
much, Miss
Shelma.
T.
Hi, Mary. Love
I
you
am
too,
so
sweetheart.
bad with saying names. Um,
I know.
but that's how it is with me too. I think my when I first got on here, um, I made a direct statement to Natasha Cooper. I was like, don't
Oh,
play with me.
right.
I'm a protected class and I'm on the
Right.
third level. And it's
Yep.
because I'm a vet and
Are
my
you? What
yes,
branch?
army all the way. Hoo hoo.
Go Army.
Yes,
um, I'm a daughter of a Korean combat war veteran.
good.
So
Thank you for your service. Thank y'all for your service.
I
And that
love my
includes your
veterans.
family. Uh But if she thinks messing around with a veteran who has an injury and
Right.
from a combat and things like that, well, she's
Right.
in for a rude awakening because
Correct.
we have the best federal thing that will take up for us. And
Yep.
the and let me tell about the protected class. You're a protected class.
Right.
You
I
are
know that.
yourself and I am, and there's levels to that.
Mm-hmm.
Levels people don't even know about. You know,
Yep.
they know about the first one that's on things for employment, but they also don't know about the multiple levels. And she's
Right.
not aware of that, so she
No,
needs
she's
to knock
not.
it off because it can be a very, very bad day for her.
Right. Well,
And
I
I,
have a lot of state assistants. I have several case managers in my area that work with me weekly and monthly. And, people like Natasha, they just don't get it. And I don't think they ever will. And,
I
again,
don't,
I have other medical issues besides my bipolar. I also have a heart issue now. I have stage 2 kidney failure. I have what's called FAS because I come from an alcoholic mother.
Hmm.
So just all those combined really,
It.
really makes it difficult for me.
Do you think the stage of kidney is from the medications that they give you,
No, no.
like long
The
term
kidney
usage?
failure is from the FAS coming from a mother that was a severe alcoholic when she was pregnant with me. And I had emergency kidney surgery at the age of 3.
Oh,
And I was in and out of the hospital for at least 6 months or more.
wow.
I have been
See,
in and out of the hospital most of my life.
that's the that I know you were nervous when I said I wanted you to come on, but that's what
I
I
was
wanted you
because,
to.
like I said,
I
being on
wanted
other
you to.
panels, I've been made an embarrassment out of, and I just,
I know you have, and that's why I wanted you to come on, not because you've been made an embarrassment, but because
mhm.
I wanted to get people to see a side of you that wasn't making fun of you at all.
Right.
So they can see, like, hey, this is a really nice lady. I mean, you and your
I do
husband.
try to be because, again, my mother abandoned me when I was 3 before I had my emergency surgery. So my parents divorced right shortly after that, and my father took me. So it was my father and my grandparents that helped raise me.
Wow.
And being raised by a very strict old school grandmother, my
Yes.
grandmother was very, very old school and was very strict at
You,
raising me.
you know what? We don't have a life that's too far apart from each other, because
Hmm.
I'm an orphan, me and my twin, and I don't, and they're both dead now, so I don't have any parents alive, and maybe that has to do
Wow.
with why between that and the military. I had to grow up
Hmm.
fast.
Right,
Um,
right.
and
My
when I
father, my father did 4 years active and then 1 reserve. And I recently lost my father just last year, right after Christmas. So I'm having a lot of things that I'm still having to deal with. Between me and my sister, we're the only two left in my father's family. All my father's
Wow.
family is gone now.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
have
any relatives from
none on
that.
my father's side. I have 3
Yeah.
cousins, but we're very estranged and have been for many years.
Wow. I just
So,
have no I have the one brother that is my real brother.
right.
He
I have a younger
doesn't get on
sister.
YouTube at all. He doesn't participate in any of this at
Right,
all. And then in the family that we were taken in by, I don't even call them my family, but there's none of them alive either.
right. Well,
So,
like I said, on my father's side, it's just me, my younger sister, and our 3 cousins, and that's it.
wow.
So, again, when our father passed away last year, unfortunately, my sister, who is smarter than me, obviously, she was left as the POA for our father's estate, and he left my our father left a lot of really severe financial nightmares in our lap. So it's taking my sister and I time to comb through all this mess. So it's been an extremely stressful year for the 2 of us, and
Yeah, they tend to
it's
do
just
that. They tend to
it's made
leave
it
a
very
nightmare
difficult.
behind.
Yeah, and it's just made it very difficult for me emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and medically because having to deal with my father's loss and so forth on top of my medical issues. I've had a very, very difficult time of it.
I agree. It's not easy. And I think,
Right.
how old did you say you were? What was your age again?
I'll be 55 in August.
I forget how old I am. I really do.
I was born in 67.
Wait, so was I. I was born in 67, but mine's in December. So, like, half the
Okay.
year I'm one age and half the year I'm another age because it's in
I'm a
December.
Leo. I was born in August. So let's see, August, September, October, November. You're about 5 months older than me.
This year.
Yeah, it says I'll be 55 this year in
Nice.
December. So it
December what?
16th. I'm a
Mm,
teacup baby. You
Okay,
know,
my
the
husband and
Boston
I's
teacup.
son, will be 19 on the 1st of December.
When you have a birthday in December, it's so weird because when you get to around the 15th to the end, you're two different ages in one year. I
Right,
mean, when I have to go to the VA, good thing they know because I don't know. One time I told them
right.
it was for many years, not one time. I
Well,
just kept,
my husband and I share one child together, but he is in a special medical foster group home and has been since he was an infant. But like I said, he's very medically challenged with a lot of medical issues himself. But he'll be 19 in December, and he graduates high school this year in June.
wow.
So I'm a pretty proud mama.
I would be too. Well, not mama part,
Well, yeah.
you know.
Are you married?
No,
No? So you don't
no.
have a family of your own. I'm
I have no
sorry.
family. I'm just me in the world.
Oh, well, again, now that I'm connected with you, just know you have a friend.
I thank you for that. And you have a friend as well. I do
Thank
not
you.
ever plan on even anybody really attack anybody. That's not my goal. Who
Right,
was your
right.
who
Well,
was your childhood?
you just have to see it from my standpoint. I
I
had
do.
just been so constantly attacked for it seems like months on end. So that's why doing this today with you, again, I'll just be honest, I have my doubts.
Well, I couldn't get in your chat that one day. I kept saying, "Man, I can't see myself," and you were like, "Nasir, you're not
I'll have
blocked."
to go check my block list and see if that's where you're at and
It
get
was
that
just
taken
funny
care of.
because I was trying to ask you that day about, doing a guest panel for me, and you were like, "I don't see you, Nasir. Who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I come from Natasha Cooper's crazy place. I was there when you were
Mhm.
there, but I sat behind the scenes. I never was a talker in there. I tried to give
Mhm.
her spiritual advice, and you know what kind of task that was.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah. Well,
honestly
again,
I stopped doing it because I can't deal with that sewer mouth.
right, right. I agree.
There's
I agree.
only so
She has
there's
become
only
worse.
yeah,
She has
there's only
become much
so
worse.
there's only so much even me as a man of faith can do with that.
Right.
But let me ask you a question. Who, when you were younger, was your favorite hero?
Mm. Boy, that's a toughie.
But that's
I
why I
think my
brought you.
favorite hero goes back to the old 70s TV show, The Bionic Woman. I
Oh yeah.
always loved and respected Lindsay Wagner.
Yeah. See, that's what I like about talking to somebody that knows what I'm talking about because those were the good days. Yeah, Bionic Woman, Bionic Man, and that sound they
Yep,
made when they did stuff.
yep. Well, again, I actually was named after an all-time old TV show actress, and I won't give out my true identity here, but again, I was named after one of the three young ladies from the old TV show Petticoat Junction.
I've seen that. I've seen that show. I remember when the Wizard of Oz and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang used to
Oh
come on
yes,
every
my husband and
year.
I are big Disney fans. Hi, Pom Pom. Thank you so much for your kind comment. I
Hi,
appreciate
Pom
it.
Mom. She
But
is
yeah, I
so.
grew up, like I said, like you, I grew up with a lot of the old 70s TV shows. I was into Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man, Petticoat Junction, I Love Lucy,
Oh,
all those old time shows. I could go
I
on.
I love I love Lucy and Jerry Lewis. Oh
Yes,
man,
Jerry Lewis was my all-time favorite too.
Yeah, that's when they made true comedy. I don't think anybody
Yes,
knows about comedy unless you watch Jerry Lewis. Um,
absolutely.
and
And Red Skelton,
oh
Red
yeah,
Buttons.
yeah,
Um, let's see, Mash,
yeah. That
The
was
Odd
always
Couple,
that's
Laverne and
Mash.
Shirley,
Mash
Happy
is probably the
Days.
reason I went into the army. That's probably why, right there. I watched too much Mash, and I can't.
Right,
I don't remember the Mash on site in the war being like that Mash. I can tell you that
right.
much.
Well, a lot of TV shows, especially like MASH, a lot of it is, created like any other TV show where they set certain scenes. But again, like the operating room and, how they bring in the wounded. Now, my father was in that field when he was in the service in the Korean combat. My father was a field service medic.
Well, that's a really hard job.
Yes.
People may not think that's a hard job, but it
I'll tell
is a
you
hard
what.
job.
The years
Um,
growing up with my father, he would share stories with me about his past service time. And I tell you what, the stories he would share would make your hair stand on end.
I don't. I'm one of those soldiers that doesn't share
Mhm.
because I
Well, a
don't want
lot
to
of
give.
veterans don't. A lot
I
of
don't want
veterans
to
don't
give my
because it sets
nightmares.
off.
Well,
Right,
that's
because it.
because we don't want to give our the nightmares that
Right,
we have to others, and they are
right. Oh, my
nightmares.
father suffered from nightmares and PTSD and flashbacks for several long periods of time in his life. And
And
again, he
they're
passed
no
away
way.
just last year.
And some people might make fun of that, but they don't have any idea what that is really. I mean, to see a person go into a full blowout PTSD thing, it is not funny.
No,
Um,
it's not.
Going to war and seeing things like your dad saw and I saw and a lot of many other young kids. We were kids when we went in, but we were really grown men when we came out. It doesn't take long to make you a grown man in
Right.
combat.
My father went into the service at the age of 16. And like I said, he did 4 active tours and 1 reserve. And again, the things he saw during that period of time, I'll be honest, he was the last sole survivor of the unit that he was connected to.
That's the case in a lot of situations, and it's it's
It's
not something people want to know really,
no, no,
and not all people are made to handle that. I can promise you
exactly.
that.
Thank you, Tevy. I appreciate it. That's
Um,
very kind of you.
what was your favorite thing to do as a kid?
Well, I was kind of being raised by my father and my grandparents. I was somewhat raised as a tomboy where I like to play outside and get dirty, like playing the dirt. And my favorite toy was a plastic horse with a plastic cowboy as a child.
They used to sell those, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
horses, and they don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Um, what did you
I
want to?
was I was not raised as a girly girl. I'd rather just put on an old pair of pants and an old shirt that was a hand me down from my grandmother, and I would go outside and just rough house. I would climb trees and dig in the dirt and
To be honest, I'm just going to say when I was growing up, that would have been the same time we were growing up. Um, a lot of girls then they just did that. There was no like boy games and girl games and boy
right,
toys and girl toys. We just played together. I
right.
mean, girls just did the same thing to us. We built straw houses and you know
Hmm.
dug roads and had the little Hot Wheel cars and we all did the same thing. But that ain't the kind of world now. Uh,
No,
the boys and girls don't do the same thing. It's
Right.
just insane. It
It is.
was
But again, growing up with
TV
me,
got it right. TV got it right. It was just all about being outside. You
yeah,
know, get a
exactly.
tarp, put the water hose on it, and you got
Yep,
yourself a slip and slide.
yep, yep,
That was the original slip and slide, a
yep.
tarp
I
and a
know.
water hose.
Yep. Well,
And
again, with me growing up, I never had hardly any friends at all. So I pretty much just kept to myself even as a child because, again, from the word go through my elementary school years, my junior high and high school, I was constantly bullied, harassed, name called, teased, put down, made fun of. So,
so
again,
you, so this stuff that people are doing now is just you're used to it.
I pretty much have gotten used to it. It still bothers me a lot emotionally, but now that I'm much older, I try so hard not to let it affect me, but it does.
Well,
If that makes any sense.
you wouldn't be human if you didn't.
Exactly. So through the years, I think the only friend I really have had is my husband, and he's really the only friend I've ever really have had in the world.
Well, he's a good
Because
guy. He
again,
does a lot of
I'm the
stuff
kind of
for
gal
you.
now that I pretty much just keep to myself.
Well, I don't think you should do that. I still think you should go out and meet people, even if it's just around your neighborhood, just walk around, say hi to everybody.
Well, that's for me. That's kind of hard with my bipolar because I also, on the other side, I am severe anxiety to where I actually have panic attacks. And
Yeah.
anymore, I don't like being around people because it just really makes me extremely nervous.
Well, you see, you're a lot like a veteran
Yeah.
because
Years ago when I was younger, I was always around people. I love being around people, large crowds, but anymore now that I'm a little bit older, it just nowadays it really makes things very uncomfortable for me.
I think that COVID has played a lot of role in that as well.
I
Um,
agree.
in making people, I'm a people person as far as like talking to people. I want to talk to a person face to face or like we're doing,
Right.
but at the same time, I can spend forever by myself
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like, when people start turning into like NC does with all the cussing and all the attacking and a very
Right.
aggressive person. I don't like that. It
Well, I don't either, but
irritates me.
again, um, to a point, I'm not as bad as her, but again, being raised by my father, especially due to the fact that he was both Navy and Marine Corps, as a child growing up with my dad, he had a gutter mouth, of course, being Navy. So I basically tell people I have a sailor mouth.
Well, the sailors get the mouth not for interacting, but
Right.
from being stuck on that boat forever. And then you let them out into the world. When they make port, they ain't no telling what you're going to hear because they've been away from society. They're on a boat for
Exactly.
9, 10 months. I don't know if I could handle
Right.
that.
Amber Riot, I completely agree with you. She left a comment says I can totally
Yeah,
relate. When you've been bullied for so long, it makes it really hard to interact with others. I completely agree with that. Yep.
yeah. She can type in chat, but she's
Right.
terrified of real
Yep.
people. I hope you get out there though a little bit because I don't like seeing that she's terrified of real people. Um, you know, that's not a way that God wants us to be, you know.
Right.
I what is your faith that you and your husband are?
Actually, that's a good question. As of currently, I'm a 31-year converted Roman Catholic, but again,
Mhm.
I come from a non-denominational family. My father raised me in the Methodist denomination as a child.
I remember hearing you say about the Catholic thing before.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you heard me say it before, but I'm a Muslim. And
Okay.
now when I was a kid, I was at always at the Roman Catholic Church.
Mhm.
That's where I went. I liked the organization of it
Right.
all. I was a very organized child.
Well, again, I
Um,
come from a long line of very different denominations in my family.
yeah.
My uncle on my father's side, now he was a hardcore Seventh Day Adventist. My father's one sister and her entire family and one cousin, as of currently, they are all very staunch Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay. That
And then
explains a lot.
the neighborhood where I grew up, besides my family, all my neighbors around us, they were all from the Mormon background.
Oh, I have a lot of experience in my neighborhood with the Mormon background because there's a big congregation down the street.
Right.
So I have a lot of dealings with them, and I try to be so polite to
Right.
them. I
Well,
mean,
again, there's one thing in common that the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses have. And again, a lot of the people that are in my family, again, they're very, very nice people. But again, when you tell them the truth that their faith really is of no interest to me, and tell them how much you appreciate them coming and talking to you. But again, just say, hey, from what I'm learning now, really just does not interest me. And to please, stop bothering me over it. These people don't understand the word no.
well, no, they don't understand the word no, but
And it's the
I
same way with the Mormons. Now, the
I am
Mormons, again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to overtalk you, but
no,
again,
go
the
ahead.
Mormons are very nice people as well. I have nothing wrong with the Mormons, but again, like the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're just very pushy and they just don't understand the word back off because their faith is of no interest to me.
They I do the opposite. I don't tell them no. I'll let them sit down there and they talk all they want to, but I make sure to tell them I'm Muslim right away. And then, they kind of light up because they think they're going to tell me something I don't know. But what they don't
Right.
know is that I'm very versed in the Bible, very
Good
versed.
for you.
Um,
As am I.
so, uh, I, I end up they end up running away from me. Not that they don't have more to tell me, because I found out real quick they don't read the whole Bible.
Right. And a
They
lot of
only
them
read,
don't.
yeah, they only read this one section. So if I start saying something about the book of Job, then they're like, huh? What are you talking about? And then I have to
Right.
show them, but that scares them off. I
Right.
don't agree with having these 17 and 18-year-old kids out there walking the streets. Not these days. That's too young to have these kids out there walking the streets, especially in my neighborhood. Not a good
Mhm.
neighborhood to walk up and down the streets like two girls, and no.
Right.
I don't
Well,
agree with
again,
that.
my grandmother, the way she raised me, I was taught to respect everybody around me, religious wise, because again, even though we may not see eye to eye, I don't disrespect anyone's faith because, again, my grandmother always taught me to each their own.
Yeah.
But again, people just need to understand that, a lot of faiths really don't interest me. I enjoy hearing about it and learning. But again, if they keep pushing it, that's to me that's a complete turn off.
It's not helping them if they do that. I don't like people who do that. Hey, Amanda Slaw, 81. The only person that should have a problem with that is me, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't feel like she's over talking me or interrupting. She's talking free will. That's what I have on here. So, um, kind of keep them nasty thoughts to yourself. She's not being rude at all. So I just wanted to address that, Miss P, first. That's
Thank
how
you.
I. That's
Yeah,
how I.
if you have a problem, Amanda's Law, there's a lot of other YouTube channels out there that I think would suit you better because apparently this is not the channel for you. And if you think
Yeah.
that I'm being rude, then I'm sorry you feel that way.
she's not being rude at all. It'll be my opinion of if I think she's being rude or not. I mean, don't think that I'm a person that can't put my foot down.
Right.
I don't think there's anything of people who know me know I can or can't, but I can. And
Right.
TV's right. Be nice. There's no need for that. Hey Cole, Cole D is here.
All right. Well,
Um,
again, coming from a strict grandmother, that's one lesson that she always taught me growing up too is if you can't say something nice about someone, keep your mouth shut.
that's pretty much it. And I wish I was more like that on the internet in general. I mean, um, there was something I wanted to ask you,
Hmm.
and it's about your favorite person.
My favorite person is my husband.
I know, I know your husband, your favorite person. I was being facetious.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that that person that. Why does Natasha Cooper attack you so much?
I have no idea. I think it's just jealousy because I may have some better traits than what she will ever have. And she just cannot come to terms of admitting the fact that, in a lot of ways, I think she has a lot of misery in her life. And truly, she's human. But again, I feel really, truly sorry for her that she acts the way she does. But again, with all my issues and everything I have had to face through the years, I've had it no better than anybody else. I've had a rough road, but every day being the Catholic gal that I am, I'm very blessed to have made it this far in my own life, and I'm thankful every day for the things that I do have.
And
And
that's
I
how
think
I
she just
am.
tries so hard to hold it against me because, again, I just think that she just doesn't like anybody but herself, and I
I'm
just
not
see her
even
as
sure
just
she
being very
likes herself.
selfish.
I'm not sure she likes herself. I think she deflects a lot from herself. I'm not sure she likes herself. She's cocky and condescending,
Right.
but I don't know if
Um.
she likes herself.
Right. Again, I pardon the interruption. Amanda's Law. I think
Don't
you need
worry
to
about
be
her.
removed. She's
No, just let her go. I see what she wrote, and
She already left.
that's her opinion, and she left already. So that was a good choice for her.
Oh God, he's back.
Who's back?
New
Oh,
two.
new tutu. What you say, Miss P? I thought you said things about Muslims. Are you okay with Muslims? Wow.
I'm okay with everybody as long as you don't shove your faith down my throat. I have no problem with whoever belongs to what faith.
I
I
don't
have
even know
no problem
why.
with Muslims or anybody else.
I don't
The
even
only
know why that was a question for you. See, that's
I
why
have no
I'm
problem with
glad you're up here.
anybody's faith. I
That's
may
why I'm
not
glad you're up
agree.
here, Miss P. Miss P, look,
Yes.
when people ask you questions like that, don't answer it. Just
Okay.
ignore it. Because when I see that, I'm like, who are you trying to really irritate? Me, the Muslim, or her, and trying to make me think Miss Portland said something bad about Muslims and like trying to get a fire lit under me and say stuff like, did you really say that about see what they're doing?
New tutu. I think I may have said some things in the past that I regret because, again, when I'm angry, I do tend to say things about people that I don't mean to say. But again, personally, when it comes to people of other faiths, I have no problem with anybody's faith. Just because I may not agree with it doesn't mean I don't disrespect them in any way. They have
Well,
a right to believe what they want to believe.
I'm gonna address that too, new damn twos you got. Um why do you stalk me and harass me? Okay, really. I know that a lot of people say bad things about Muslims because they think
Hmm.
all Muslims are like what they think about terrorists. Let's just be
Right.
honest about this subject.
Exactly.
A lot of people have never met a Muslim, and whenever they say stuff about Muslims, they're typically talking about what they know as a Muslim, and that will
Right.
be the ones they see on
It's
the
because the things
news.
that you see and hear on the news, it gives people that negative outlook. And it's like, you know what? There's good and bad in everybody. There's some good
Exactly.
Muslims and there are bad Muslims. There
Just
are
like
good,
there are good Christians and
right.
bad Christians. I mean,
Exactly. Like I said,
that's in
there's good
every faith.
Catholics and then there's bad Catholics. There's good Baptists and there's bad Baptists. There's good and bad in everybody, people.
That's exactly true. And you think that we don't think, me as a Muslim, you think I don't think, something bad against the other Muslims who like blow up places? That's usually the Hezbollah. Yes, I do. I think that's horrible. And everybody thinks that the Jewish people are fine. Not all of them. Not
Right.
all of them.
Like I
So I
said, there's
mean,
good and bad in everybody, Nasir. There's good and bad
exactly.
in everybody.
So
There's
so
good. There's the good Jewish side, and then there's the negative Jewish side.
there is that in every religion. You're either a
Exactly.
part of it or you're not. And I don't take
Exactly.
offense to, I don't take offense to what anyone says unless they say it to my face,
Right.
directly.
Right.
Because
And
I
again, that's
know,
another thing about me. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting.
no,
Is
no,
again,
you're
if
fine.
somebody has a personal issue with me, come talk to me. I am willing to sit down as an adult and have a one on one with you. But again, if you have a problem with me and you don't like me, I get it. I totally get it.
Well, that's why I wanted you to come up on my panel. Why I specifically, I didn't just pick her out and she just didn't come up here. I asked her yesterday, yes, I asked you
Hmm.
yesterday to come up on my panel today, specifically so we would be able to talk to each other and I could ask her questions that I wanted to know and to give her a voice to speak for herself without having to yell over people to be heard. I
Right.
mean, this is something people should do. We don't have a beef. She's not up here because we have a beef. There's
Right.
nothing like that at play.
I
But
came up
when
here
someone
because I
comes
was
in there,
invited. I was very kindly invited. Your nice young lady squirrel emailed me and asked me, if I would like to come on panel. And I said, well, can you give me the night to think about it? Because again, I've been on other panels here in the last several weeks, and I have been made a joke out of and an embarrassment out of. But I thought, again, I'm an open gal, and I'm willing to give everybody a chance. And if they want to talk with me, I have no problem doing that.
it, and here's this one again. What if everyone is wanting more positivity, why can't we talk about something other than Natasha? Well, maybe you aren't paying attention, because we've talked about uh, our youth, our
TV shows,
TV
religion.
shows.
We've
We've
talked
talked about
about religion. We
we've
talked
talked
about
about
family.
religion. I mean, if you missed that part of the show, then rewind it and listen. I'm not going to sit here and go over everything we've talked about, but I guarantee you the topic, she's going to be a topic, but she's not the main topic. So,
Right.
if I'm just sorry if you missed that. So,
Oh no, that's perfectly fine.
no,
But
I mean,
again,
I'm telling this person that, I mean,
yeah.
you see what they're trying to do?
Oh yeah, they're trying to stir the pot. I see that.
I
They're
mean,
trying
this
to they're
is
trying to find they're trying to find a way to get me riled up, and it's not gonna happen.
they're
And
trying to
again,
find a way to get us to go at each other about
right,
something, but that's really hard to do with people that are not enemies in the first place and not uh that's just not what we're doing, and that isn't
right.
why So just if squirrel if new
Mhm.
2222 that's if they can't stop, just do your thing
All right.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
because
New Tutu, if you're such a Natasha fan, why don't you go back to her community? We just really don't need the negativity here.
yeah, I mean it's I'm just not gonna deal with it. Just go on and
He's in timeout.
she well get her last statement off the screen too for me, please. Um,
Gotcha.
that's
Okay,
just
and then on, I'm sorry, Nasir. And again, on
no.
that comment too, New Tutu, my last channel was not terminated. I took it down myself because of issues that were going on that I could not deal with. And therefore, I took my first previous channel down myself. I was not terminated. So
Don't
I
worry
want to
about
set
her.
that story straight.
Don't worry about it. That's what they do. I have a feeling that she's one of Natasha's people. You know, that came up here to set us straight. Well, it's my channel. She's not going to let set us straight. We asked her politely to finish or talk about something else, and she didn't
Hmm.
want to. So my answer for that is, I asked her. I let her go a little bit longer, and now I just instead of putting her in timeout, I don't have time for that because I don't want my conversation with you to even be disrupted to be that. She's already
Well, I
disrupted enough.
appreciate that. And again,
So I blocked her.
I
There's nothing
apologize
to
for walking all over
apologize for.
you.
You're not doing that. I mean, I'm from the South and I'm from New Orleans, and
Okay,
we talk all at the same time. That's a
right.
fact. Um,
Well, I was born and raised out here in Oregon, but I spent 3 years with my father and his family out in the Midwest, and I grew up in Indiana.
see,
So,
if you, it, I've never been to any of those places. That's so terrible.
well, again, with my
I've
father
been,
through the years, my father and I actually traveled the country together when I was growing up. We took a road trip and we went clear from Indiana, clear back out here to Oregon, and we stopped like in Wyoming. We went through South Dakota. We went through
mm,
Colorado. I mean, we went and saw a lot of neat things together. So I saw a
you,
lot of the country that most people don't have the chance to see.
you know what? I, I fought for my country, and I've seen more of the world than my country. I
Right.
I've I've been in the military since or served my country
Hmm.
from the end of I did wasn't in World War II. I ain't that old, and it wasn't in Vietnam either. But I've been in every world conflict we've
Oh,
been involved in.
are you Persian Gulf?
Yeah, I've Persian
Okay.
Gulf. I mean, I've been to every conflict, every single
Wow.
one that we've been involved in
So
since
you've also done Iraq, I take it.
Iraq, Iran, Africa. There's conflicts
Wow.
people don't even know about.
Well, thank
So,
you so kindly for your service. Yeah, again, you're like my father. He saw a lot more out there in Korea than what most people will ever even imagine.
when people don't even really know. They really don't know how many conflicts we're put into because some are taken off the board for people to know, but that's how good our military is. We solve problems before they become a world issue. Um,
Right,
that that's just the way we are, and we do have ways to handle it diplomatically at times.
right. Hang on a
Um,
minute. Hey,
yeah.
Gold Star. Gold Star Mom is in here, and
Oh, hi, Gold Star Mom.
she is my best friend, and she is also a Gold Star mother because her son
That
was
is
killed
correct.
in the line of duty here not too far back. So
That is
she
correct. I know what
herself
a Gold
is,
Star mom is.
and she's been through quite a tragic ordeal herself. So the title of Gold Star is such an honorary name and something to be so proud of.
That is correct. I know
But
exactly what a
again,
gold star mom is, a gold star mother, all of those things. I know what it means. And a lot
yeah,
of people really don't. They
Mhm.
must think, some people think she just picked that name. No, she earned that name.
yes, she did. And again, Gold Star Mom and I, when we first got acquainted, we too also were some of Natasha rejects. But through time, Gold Star Mom and I started emailing back and forth. Then
Hi,
recently,
Nikki X.
we exchanged phone numbers. So her and I talk daily privately outside of YouTube. So again,
Wow.
Gold Star has become like my best friend and my biggest supporter.
I've seen her in your room, and let me catch it for you. I got hi, Nikki X, and Palm
Hey,
Mom,
Nikki.
Johnny Cole. He's so funny to me. He's cool. He rocks in with that hat flip back there, and he's like, "Hey." I don't know why. I just get that feeling. That's how he enters the room. Hey, you know. So, how did you and your husband meet?
Oh boy, that's a long story.
I knew I'd get him
Again,
somewhere.
well, again, we met in July of 1990 because I had come from Job Corps, and I was in Job Corps for over a year, and unfortunately, I just never made it through that. So, I was transferred to a local rehab facility to take upon clerical administrative training, and my current husband was one of the cafeteria cooks, and to be honest, he actually is the one that introduced me to my first husband, and they worked together in the rehab cafeteria.
Your
And I'm a
wait,
divorcee,
wait. Your husband now introduced you to your first husband.
correct?
Sly guy.
hmm
Hmm.
And that marriage was a mistake from the very beginning because my first husband also was a severe alcoholic and was very physically abusive with me.
Mm,
And there was a time in the end where he beat me so badly that, again, in all honesty, he came this close to killing me. And from that point on, I spent several months in a women's shelter
mm-mm.
until I could get through the divorce process. And from then on, my husband I'm with currently, we actually lived in two separate apartment complexes next door to one another. We reconnected, became friends again, started dating, and things just kind of went from there.
But that's a really smart guy. What he
He
say?
is.
What did he say?
What, honey?
I said everything went downhill from there.
Oh yeah,
Everything went downhill from there. He's
yeah. It
quite the
sound
joker.
Yeah, he is a joker. I want him to make an appearance here. Give us a wave. Where's he at? Come on.
Hon, you want to come just say a quick hello?
Hey,
Hello.
This
Nice
is
to
my
I'm
see you.
man.
sorry.
This is Mr. Portland.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Let me
It's
see if
a
I can get a better camera
There
angle
you
here.
go. There you go. You're half
Yeah.
on the camera.
Yeah.
Do
Half
it.
ahead.
You do a nice job with her show. You got to keep her going with it. Don't let her give up.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
not
I
gonna let her
won't.
give her up.
Yeah,
Nope.
she might get mad, throw some books, but just put them back on the shelf and keep going.
Right.
Yeah, well, she throws them at me sometimes.
Well, you got to learn to duck.
I
Yep.
do duck. I do duck.
But again, we've been married going on 21 years as of June.
How many?
So
How many years?
we've been married 20 years. And we'll be
That's a
celebrating our
long
21st in
time.
June.
And you're and Paul Mom said you're both color coordinated. I noticed that too.
Yeah, we are. We try to be. So,
Really, really,
but
that's a
again,
thing.
my current husband and I, we've been friends basically off and on since 1990.
I think being friends is really the key to. Now, how am I talk about marriage? I ain't married.
Uh
I'm
huh.
not married. I'm not married. I shouldn't have a say, right? I think you have to be friends.
Yeah.
Like friends to a part. Like even if you got divorced, you'd still be friends.
Right,
I'm just
exactly.
saying.
Thank you,
I mean,
Tevy.
because you put up with things that you wouldn't put up with someone that
Well,
wasn't your
we
friend.
have, I think every married couple goes through their moments, but all in all, my husband and I, we're each other's best friend. But,
That's how.
again, we
Yeah,
have
I
our
think that's
moments.
how it is. And Johnny, you're right. It's about making compromises and things you'll accept and things you won't accept. And maybe that's my problem. Uh-oh. Y'all trying to diagnose me now.
But yeah, we're each other's best friend. So, we support each other and take care of each other, and we're very
That,
happy.
Sometimes
that's
we're
how it should
our
be.
worst enemies too.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially with the COVID, we've been so cooped up like everybody else the last couple of years. So we don't go out of our home much, and sometimes we get kind of tired of looking at each other.
yeah, I'm not really sure if the women that I know, if I could be married to any of them, and I do mean any of them during COVID. If that
Right,
would have been, if I had been married to any of them and COVID would have been my test, I think I'd have failed miserably
right.
because you, I could only stand some of them for so long. And then, well,
Right.
I'm a military person, I'm a clean freak.
Yep,
Um,
I
I,
am too.
and that's my problem that they keep, people keep telling me about. They're all good, and then they're like, "You're too damn clean. You think shoes got to be here. You think they do,
Well,
and
I'm
they
like
don't like
you.
it."
Being a military brat, my father coming from the Navy and Marine Corps, through the years, again, I'll be honest with you, I kind of call myself a germaphobe. I have to have like everything constantly wiped down. Anything that I see out of place has to be picked up. My bed has to be made just so. My clothes folded just so.
I think that this is a military thing now. I
Yeah,
think so because I am a germaphobe. I'm the king of Lysol.
yep,
Uh,
I hear that.
um, organized
Yep.
anally, just anally organized. It's just unreal, and
It's just the way
people
that we
talk
were
about it.
raised. Again, being prior military, that's how you were taught.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they
Because
train you from
every
the
day you would
second you
go
step
through,
out the door.
yep, every day when you were in the military, you had daily inspections of your clothes,
Your
your body
shoes.
smell if you weren't bathed, if your uniform was not ironed or pressed properly,
That
if
is
your
correct.
hair wasn't cut, you know, and if your clothes weren't folded just so, your cot not made right,
I
you were
mean,
docked for a lot of things.
people don't understand how far they go. They would even inspect if you had dust between your shoelaces on
Yep,
your boots, and
yep,
people would be like, "What?" Yeah, they would.
yeah,
It's that
yeah.
serious.
The military docks you for every little thing that is out of place because in the military, they had something what was called order. If
Yeah,
everything was not in order, you were docked for it and it was put on your military record. I know I have a copy of my father's DD 214 and it has a lot of things on it that I won't go into, but
yeah.
you
Don't go
know,
into that. Yeah, don't go into that.
I'm just
Um.
saying that
So did
what?
I ask you when you growed up what you want to be?
Oh boy.
Yeah. See,
Um
I came with the hard questions.
that's okay. That's
Not
good.
hard, just the unexpected questions.
Right. Well, again, due to the fact that I did a lot of traveling with my father by car, I
Mm.
always grew up wanting to be a flight attendant.
Oh, that's interesting.
That was my pipe dream.
To be uh, a flight attendant. Did you even
Because again with
did
my
you e-
father, I grew up knowing people from like all different countries and backgrounds and so forth. So I got into studying like people's customs, their country traditions, their
Mm-hmm.
cuisine, and I thought how fun it would be to be able to travel to all those unique countries and see it for yourself.
But I heard that, when they do interviews with them, that it isn't as great as it looks. Like they have to do three or four, you know, uh, travels right behind each other. And so why didn't you do that?
Well, again, with all my disability issues, it just never really happened for me. I looked into
Mhm.
going to a flight school at one time, and again, they looked at my medical status and they just didn't see it as being possible for me. So that's pretty much the only reason why I never really followed through.
Well, Johnny, if you think it's going to get boring after a while, you know, go ahead.
Oh,
How you like that?
living in Chicago,
Johnny,
Illinois.
Huh?
Johnny writes on there, I think it will get boring after a while. It can't get boring after a while. You know
I was
why,
going to
Johnny?
say, life doesn't get boring for me.
It can never get boring. I think he's talking about our conversation. I'm just assuming, saying, I think it'll get boring after a while when you get through talking. Well,
Well,
guess what?
again, all I can say is, Johnny, if you think that this conversation is getting boring, there's a lot of other YouTube channels out there that I think you'll get pleasure in than being here.
I
So if
heard
you don't,
Natasha was on. You can go listen to that train wreck.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
So
mean,
again, if
it's
you're
some
not happy
aspirants.
with listening to this conversation, then you have the freedom to move on.
Wait, no, he's talking about something else. So we just messing with him too much. He said the flight attendant job. That's what.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
so we done made Johnny look bad. He was talking about the flight
Yeah,
attendant job. I'm sorry,
right.
Johnny. Please
That's
accept
okay.
please accept
And
my I yeah, Nikki, she still has a channel.
And I did fly back east just this last year to put my father to rest. And again, the flight attendant came over to me and she says, I see you doing exactly what I'm doing up here, and you're doing this job better than I am. And she's been a flight attendant for like over 30 years. And she's like,
Wow.
well, do you want to come up and do this? And I went and did it. And so
Wow,
I hate to
that's
say it,
good.
but I'm good at it.
At least you got the experience
Yeah.
to do it.
Nikki
Oh,
X, yes, she does have a new channel, but I don't know for how long. But
I thought it would be down already.
no, she was
I
still
thought it
live
would.
when I last checked.
She was still live when I came on. I mean, I just had to put that up there because I know TV. I'm going to be nice to Johnny. That was my fault. Uh, I'm getting in trouble now by
That's okay. And
TV
Squirrel,
because I misunderstood.
yeah.
Uh,
And Squirrel, let me see where my schedule is at that point of the evening because, again, around that time is basically my medication and wind down time. So, usually, anytime after 8 o'clock out here is my time to wind down. So, it depends on if I'm even still awake at that hour.
I don't know. You were
Cole,
up until 2:30
you got
this
banned
morning.
until 2029. What the? Did you see this, Miss Morton? Nikki X, she was on live and she banned me until 2029. Oh
God.
Lord.
That person's a train wreck, Nikki. You ought to know
She
better than that,
she
sweetheart.
made
Yeah,
everybody
she
her
banned Robbie
mod.
until
She
Yeah,
made
she banned
2030.
she banned a lot of people. She's banned Robbie, myself, Gold Star. Every time we would even try to make a comment to her, letting her know what a train wreck she is, she would automatically just block us. And
she knows she's a train wreck.
yeah,
She's panicking.
oh, I know, I
I
know.
think she's panicking because if she really had all those channels in the background to go to, then she would have brought them up instead of staying gone for those 2 or 3 days and
Right.
going on different people's channels. She would have got on them. That's a
Yeah,
bunch of BS. That's
But
just
what people don't realize, Nasir, is Miss Natasha Cooper is sneaky because she also may not admit it, but she has several alts and she goes into a lot of other communities and we know who she is when she comes into those communities. So I don't think people realize, but she's not putting herself past anyone. And then she comes back and says, I don't go to any communities. I don't do this. I don't do that.
she's a
It's like, you know
liar.
what? The hell you don't.
She's a liar. When she goes, she'll would go, I'll be back a minute, and then she's gone for like so long. She's in somebody's chat.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't care if she comes in my chat. She thinks people are afraid of her. But I won't put up with her antics. I mean,
Oh, I won't either.
I wish she had the balls to come on my channel, like come up here on panel like you are. I
Mhm.
don't think she does. So yeah, I'm calling her out. I don't think Natasha Cooper has the balls to come up on my panel. And I wouldn't talk to her any different than I'm talking to you, but I bet she
Right,
don't
right,
but I
right.
bet she don't talk that way. Um
Who can, Nikki? I don't think anybody can, but again, truthfully, I think a lot of her community members are frightened of her because she holds things over people's heads and says if you don't do as I want, then you're going to be the one to pay for the damage. And I think that's why a lot of people truthfully are afraid of her and are afraid of leaving her community, but as of recently, she lost two of her longer mods that she's had through the years. Two of
she
them
left.
finally jumped ship.
Yeah, and I think more are going to as well. I think Kelly the advocate is almost figuring it out because
Well,
last night I was watching Kelly the Advocate, and she was saying something. Don't quote me because I'm summarizing something to the amount that Natasha wasn't the. If you got terms of service, you weren't even supposed to be on anybody's panel. She
correct.
that is correct. She's not supposed to be up there at all for a certain amount of time.
Well, again, I'll be honest, and this is just my honest opinion. I see Kelly the Advocate being another train wreck because, again, she's let Natasha being up on her panel at several times throughout this last 2 weeks. And it's the same with Dorothy and other channels because, again, now, since Natasha is trying to find ways around her own ban evasion, she is putting numerous channels in jeopardy.
Yes,
She's
she.
not supposed to be going live on anyone's channel.
Yeah, I think that's insane.
I agree.
She went on her daughter's channel a few times,
Yep.
and then she kind of quickly got off that. Um,
Well, she's also put her daughter's channel in jeopardy as well for the actions that she's made.
Won the makeup sales too.
Yeah, like with the makeup sales and everything, she has greatly jeopardized her own daughter's channel,
I saw
which is
what
sad.
what what's his name, Siren. I saw his
Yes,
layout, and that was very in on point with.
it
And I've
was.
always thought that as that she was doing that before, but now she's putting that all on her daughter. And
Hmm.
it may be her daughter, but why don't y'all switch places?
Hmm.
You know,
Well,
Hannah,
again,
get on
Siren
camera.
is very, very intelligent. And truthfully, I got to know Siren a little bit more on the personal side the last several nights because we've been in another community, laughing it up, having fun, hanging out. And personally, the Siren that I'm knowing now, he's truly, really a very remarkable man for everything that he has been put through. And
Well,
he is the nicest guy.
I can't say that because the last time he was on Natasha's when he was only there a few days, they called me a name, like a person's name, but it wasn't even my name. But
Right.
they said
Well,
they
again,
researched everything and this was my name, that my name wasn't Nasir, and it
right.
happened to be that it turned out to be my twin brother because he
Mhm.
has a Facebook not that his face is on there, but we have the same, you know, similar names. And uh well, not even, it's not similar. I don't really
No,
know how she thought it was me because my name's
right,
Nasir and he has an American name, but
correct,
she thought it was me, and I plainly straight out said, "That's not me. That's my brother.
right,
So why you doxing my brother who doesn't even
right.
come on YouTube?"
Well, again, like I said, the last several nights I have gotten to see and know the personal side of Siren. And again, I never had any issues with him, even from the beginning when he was a part of that train wreck over there. But again, personally, that individual has been through so much himself
He's been
because
through a
of
lot.
what he has done to him. Plus, he's
He
got private, personal family issues happening. He's got issues going on with his job. I mean, the man has got a lot on his own plate, but
didn't he lose his real job because of
no,
her?
no, no. Now,
Oh,
his
they
job was put at risk
yeah,
because of that train wreck, but
yeah.
I think things are better now. But
Oh,
again,
I thought
he's
he
got a
lost
very
his job
difficult
and
job.
found. I thought he lost his job and had to go find
No,
another one.
no, no, no.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
he's got the same job, but again, that train wreck did try to jeopardize his employment, and they did put him at risk. But
yeah.
again, he got things straightened out with whoever he works for, and everything is good now. But again, honestly, from what I understand, he has a very difficult job at what he does for a living,
I'm
and his
trying to
job
see it.
is and his job is very stressful. But again, I've got to see the more personal side of Siren the last several days,
Mm,
and he is just he's one of the nicest guys I think anyone really could be acquainted with.
I hope he doesn't ever go back on her
Oh
panel
no, no, he won't go back.
because people truly turn evil sounding when they're not an evil person. Don't go getting me say, like, don't quote me as saying evil people. I'm saying their mannerisms turn into a mean, evil sounding attack. And to me,
Right.
Kelly the advocate last night on her channel, she sounded like she was almost, you know, that moment, Miss P, when you're right there to figuring it out and trying to save yourself. We've all been through it. And
Hmm.
right about that time, guess what happened?
I know
Boom,
exactly what happened.
Natasha came up. As
Yep.
soon as she got right there to thinking to herself, here she came.
Yep.
I mean, she popped up quick. Scared the
It's because
she
again, one
wasn't
thing
gonna
this
let
year
her
that I
through.
have learned
Oh,
about Natasha is it's all about control. She
yes.
wants control.
And she definitely wants to keep control of Kelly the advocate. She's the
Yep.
big one holding her so
Yep.
far. But
And
it's
it's the same way with Dorothy. She and
oh,
Dorothy have cuddled up together and that sickens me.
well, she's got Dorothy and she can keep Dorothy because I can't listen to
Yep.
Dorothy. It's like watching paint dry. I mean, there's only so long. And then she scares me because
Yeah.
you'll be sitting there listening to it like it's paint drying, and then she'll scream cuss words all of a sudden. I mean, for a long time, and I'm not making fun of her. This is just my thought of how
Right.
it affected me. I thought she had Tourette's because
Well,
she
again,
because she'd be
Dorothy
real calm and then
right.
start screaming cuss words. So I thought she had Tourette's until I
Well,
listened to it long enough to know no, she don't. That's just her.
okay. I will tell you my background when it comes to Dorothy is when I first broke free out of the nest of that train wreck Natasha, I actually connected with both Dorothy and Vivian when they were teaming up together. And at the time, they actually had me up on their panel for the very first time because I've never done panels before until then. And at that time, I'll be honest, Dorothy actually was a very kind, understanding lady. And I had no disrespect toward her at all. But again, as of current, within the last 3, maybe 4 months, when she started getting connected with Natasha, again, Dorothy, I'll be honest, she has a lot of medical issues herself. And I
Yeah.
truly feel sorry for her in that aspect because I know how it is being one that deals with medical issues myself, and I really wouldn't wish that on anybody. But recently, Dorothy has become just as vile and as bad a train wreck as Natasha has.
Well, that's because her people don't have nowhere to go. I mean, if she's trying to keep them on every, let me put this right up here. Oh,
I
shoot,
agree,
hold
Nikki
on.
X. Yeah, like I said, at one time,
Yes,
truthfully, I liked Dorothy. She was a very nice lady towards me and
I
was a
want to.
wonderful creator.
I want to know what was in the Christmas punch because that I'm making a joke, Miss P. The Christmas punch
I get it.
because
I call it the poison Kool-Aid.
well, maybe that's the right term, the poison Kool Aid, because Natasha was her normal self that we all knew, nice person
Mhm.
during the Christmas time when she did all the gift giving, and I do believe she did that, but I think Christiane messed that up a lot. And then that's when she did, Gabby Petito, and then
Mhm.
uh,
Okay.
Missing Kids, and then she went to the people on the hiking thing, the avalanche thing.
Right. Okay.
So
I'll say
right up
something
in
about
there,
Christy Ann. I'll say
huh?
one thing about Christy Ann. I'm very protective of her as well because, again, that young lady has also been very emotionally and mentally damaged from that train wreck. And as of right now, she's another one that is dealing with a lot of the side effects from being over there for so long.
Yeah,
And
everybody
as of
does.
now, she's currently in the midst of seeking help for herself because she is a nervous wreck and an emotional wreck because of what she's been through. And Christiane and I are another one that speak privately outside of YouTube. And Christy Ann is a very wonderful, very bright, intelligent young lady.
I don't know because I haven't seen her since this capacity I was talking about with her being on there during Christmas. Somebody just came up and
I agree,
is it
Tevy.
Dana Marie? Hi, Dana Marie. Thank you for coming. She
I
has us on
agree,
the big
Tevy.
screen. We got
Christiane
hope.
was used. She was used a lot by over there. Yes. But again, I'll just
Yes.
say this. I'm very protective of Christiane because of what she has been put through. And again, we speak privately daily.
Well, when I put up my channel, I didn't put any back doors for anybody to get to me. Like I don't have my phone number, an email, or anything. I make it my channel is all about they have to get on panel with me. I gave nobody a back door. So I learned that from watching Natasha. So nobody can say that I backdoored and said this behind the scenes or said that behind the scenes because I left no one the option to do it.
Right. And
But
again,
this right here,
I agree with Nikki X. She says I like Christiane. I do too. And she is struggling. She has been through a lot of hurt and betrayal. So
well, there's a lot more down the list like that still I don't think have uh survived to the point of coming back out like they used to do, like Nat A.
mhm.
I wanted to address this. Dorothy used to be nice after Christmas break. She changed. That's where I see
Okay.
the big break in all of
Yeah.
them.
I think really what happened with Natasha, and this is just again my honest given opinion, is I think when her aunt passed away, which
Yes.
again I'm so sorry for her loss. I know how that feels, and again my heart does go out to her in that aspect. But I think something very emotionally and mentally snapped in her, and I think that's why she's at where she's at.
I don't need to drop it. It's at the top.
And again, that's just my God given opinion.
Well, okay, my squirrel had to show me something because I look where I'm seeing stuff is different than the other way. I'm still new at this. I'm not a pro
That's
like you
okay.
are. You know what, Miss P? Something you haven't had on during this whole conversation, and I think that's a little part that's messing me up. Where is your crown?
The crown is put away.
You couldn't even dust it off for my show here? What?
If you want, I can go and get it and I
I
can put
need
it
to see
on.
I need to see the crown because
Okay.
when I say the queen, you're the one I'm talking about.
Okay, let me go get it and I'll be right back.
Get that
Get that
crown on.
crown on.
I'll be right back, everybody.
Bring her up here as my special guest and she's not wearing her crown. What? Make sure y'all please hit like, the thumbs up and the thumbs down if you like the show we're having here today, and if you're late coming in. Um, I designed this to be my round table with Mr. and Mrs. P, so we could get to know them better and not all the nasty stuff that people say on there, say on the YouTube. And if you'd like to make a blessing for me, please hit that blessing button. Oh, there and manage to match her clothes as well. Look
Yep,
at that. You have a crown for all your clothes?
I do.
Unbelievable.
I
I
have a
would
green one, I have a red crown, I have a blue crown, I have a pink one, and then as a recent somebody through YouTube, which was very nice to go to my Amazon wish list, sent me a basic jeweled crown, which is just so pretty.
well, you wouldn't be a true queen if you didn't have them all matching. That is
Well,
for
thank you.
true. So when are you gonna put your show back up like you had it before?
Oh boy. I'm just kind of taking it a day as it comes. I don't do a lot of live streams because truly I don't have a lot of content. So I basically just stick with doing small uploaded videos.
But you're gonna go to setting it back up though, like you had it before, like with the mic over you right here
Oh
and
yeah.
just
As soon as I can get the funding to get my microphone fixed to where I can get a new arm for it, you know, I'll just be doing that. But for right now, this is it.
well,
Like I said, I just try to take one day at a time and just
so
kind of
you
see what
need
happens.
so you need the long R one
Correct.
that clamps to a table or something.
Correct. Correct.
Hey, my squirrel. I got a squirrel in here.
I know.
A squirrel that's what I call my mod. My
Right.
squirrel.
Yeah, she emails me a lot and I really appreciate it. She's a sweetheart.
So what I want you to do, Miss P, is to send my squirrel your mailing address so I can mail you something.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Thank you
Cause
so much.
don't buy you a new one. I'm gonna mail
Okay.
you something.
Nice. Thank you so much. That's very kind of
It's
you.
no problem at all. Because you gave me
Okay.
such a I really thought you weren't gonna come on. I was like, I know she's gonna be nervous and scared
I
I'm
wasn't
gonna
really nervous. I just kind of, like I said, I had my doubts because of how everybody else has portrayed me. And I was up on another creators panel here not too long ago, and he just really made me look so awful. And he kept telling me about this, that, and everything else. And I told him about all the times I've had the police authorities knocking on my doors as well. I want to see that. I want to see that. It's like, well, I have security surveillance
I don't
cameras.
understand that either. When all these people say, my beginning videos happened about that right there. When people say stuff and Natasha says like, "Show me your medical. Show me your medical." Nobody has to show someone their medical
Right,
records or a doctor's appointment slip.
right.
So
And
don't
again,
fall for that.
I
And
have two security cameras outside my front door, and it takes time to go back and get certain clips off my security surveillance. And people keep
yeah,
saying, well, I want to see proof. I want to see proof. Well, you know
no.
what, people? Again, I'll just be honest, and this may sound rude, but if you want to see it, you ain't going to see shit because it's really
What?
none of anyone's business.
They're not entitled to see it. Somehow or another,
Miss T,
What?
if you have an issue with me, you can go back to that train wreck,
What's wrong with
please.
my camera?
Why
Miss
not?
T, she was another one that I was somewhat acquainted with here a while back, and she's just another nasty one that I just will not
Okay,
deal
got it.
with.
What in the world, Miss T? Why would you say that? Why did she say
I
that, Miss
was
T?
not threatening to do myself in.
I never
That's
heard Miss
one thing I
T.
want to make absolutely clear is I would never do that to myself. Now, let me make myself clear, and this is my main point being bipolar, is again, I have stages of what's called manic depression. And
Of course.
sometimes life just gets so bad where I question my life and I ask myself, when I'm that miserable, why do I even exist? Why am I even here? But it's like these people have the strangest thing in their heads that they think I'm going to go jump off a bridge or something.
Well, hold on a second. This is what I'm going to say about that. Miss T, you might think that that's okay to bring that up or whatever, but I'm going to tell you right now it's not. It's not okay to say somebody's threatening or whatever because people go through stages in their life. I'm a vet that sometimes I've thought about, you know, saying things, and it doesn't really mean that it means something else. And no, that doesn't mean you shouldn't take people serious. But
Right.
yeah,
But again,
what I'm saying is, I don't want people coming in here and just trying to blast on Miss P and say, "Oh, but what about that time you wanted to, commit?" Just knock it off. Either come in
right.
here and be positive, or get out. It's just that simple. Simple, because
Now,
I'm just
again,
gonna put you out. That's
right.
that simple. So, Miss T, if you know either come in here and be nice, and that's in the past. That's in the past. So now I'm going to teach you something important about my religion. Uh-oh, you got me there. Yeah, you did.
Again, let me make myself clear, Miss T. Is if you're that worried about me, then why did you turn on me? And yes, I've had the police called on me several times because, again, you all have that notion in your head that I am going to go do something that's stupid, and I'm not that way. I may talk that way in anger when my life gets so bad because of what's gone on in my life. But again, seriously, with my mental health, I have a lot of excellent resources out here that I have phone numbers to and places where I can go if I truly think that I'm that bad. That's something I will never ignore. If I get to that point and I need help, I'm smart enough to go get that help. I'm not going to ever do something crazy. So,
Well, let
but
me say
again,
something, Miss P, to this person. Miss T, you got me where people really don't like to get me, and I'm not going to yell at you or nothing like that. But the thing of it is, how do you think it feels for you to come in here and remind her of that statement, because she's not in that way right now? So what you're doing is bringing up the past. And in my faith, I'm going to tell you right now, in my faith, my day, and really it doesn't even have to be my faith because it applies to everybody. God gives us one day. If you wake up and you're alive and you're able to go through the day and make it to the end of the day, and you say your prayers and go to bed that night and you get up the next day, guess what? The day before was over. It ended. And you don't have the
right,
right to use that day that maybe, someone wasn't feeling good, maybe someone was in a depressive mood, but you do not have the right, Miss T, to use that day on Miss Portland for the rest of her life. You don't have that
exactly.
right. So
And Patty G, you better lay off of Gold Star Mom.
what is
She's not
Patty
making
G?
anybody look bad. So you
Oh
better knock off with
no.
your comments, Patty G.
Oh no, Patty G. No, no, no.
Can I use my my squirrel power.
Gold
We
Star
don't
Mom needs to be highly respected. Shame on you.
because I'm a vet, Patty G. You have one shot right here to knock that off or be gone, and I will
I
block you.
apologize.
No,
I
there's no
apologize. We're
reason
getting
to
a little
apologize.
bit squirrely here, but
No, there's no need to apologize. I'm a vet. We do not disrespect Gold Star mothers, wives, or anything. What's this one saying? I still wish you would contact Portland Andy and his girlfriend Linda Ling and apologize for the horrible racial slur.
oh my
Okay.
gosh, the
No,
Besser,
no,
I have apologized to them several times over.
stop, Miss P.
Got it.
Block them. I told you, Miss P. You've already explained it a million times. When God forgives us for the things He does, repeating it over and over doesn't matter. God tells us to ask Him for forgiveness, and He forgives us. We don't have to go to Him 100 times and ask for forgiveness. That's what people do. And you have asked for forgiveness. You've said you were sorry. Now,
Yes.
people either can accept that forgiveness or not accept it. And if they don't accept it, then they need to go on their way. Yes, Nikki X, I'm very sure that all these are NC's people and they're trying to cause a problem, but it's not going to work because I have a
Well,
great squirrel.
again, I think
I
I'm going to
just don't
close
want
this
you.
out
I
because
don't want you to get upset. I'm trying to show you now. This is how you handle them.
I know, but again, it is kind of get me to the point where I'm starting to feel a little bit myself on the offense because I don't like my friends like you or Gold Star Mom or anybody being attacked. And again, I am feeling a little bit bothered and upset at this point. So, I think I'm going to end this and tell you thank you so much for having me.
Okay, but can I tell you something before you go?
Sure.
I know you're getting upset, but I want you to go and just take some time for yourself. Sit down. Don't go and think about it. Don't keep reliving and make yourself more upset. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just so to the point where I don't like being under constant attack all the time.
I know, and that's why I'm deleting that. But what I'm saying to you, when you get off of here, don't go and just constantly think about the things that they're saying because I've removed them. So just go have a walk around with your husband or give your husband a hug. Try to internally change it about you instead of focusing on them.
Right.
And
Right.
I want to invite you again to come up some other day so we can hang
I
out.
appreciate that.
Um,
I will be back.
and that's just how it's going to be. I'm not going to tolerate that, and I don't, because the point of me tolerating it means it upsets you, and that's why my squirrel's been going through there and they're not even getting one chance. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
do.
giving them one chance. As soon as I see it, it's done.
Well,
Other people let it
I'm
go
just to the
on and
point where
on.
I'm just feeling my bipolar kicking in, and it's
Yes.
causing a little bit of my anxiety and a little bit of my depression.
Yes,
So,
and that's when
um,
that's a good sign that when you feel that coming on, then we need to stop so that it
mhm,
doesn't push you any further. But,
right.
I have no problem about us ending it now so that you can go and take care of yourself and
Okay.
your own
Thank you
health.
for having me. I
You're,
have enjoyed this thoroughly, and thank you.
you're welcome, and thank you for coming and being up here with me. I've had a
Oh,
great
my
time.
pleasure. And again,
And
I look forward to you having me back.
yes, have a blessed day, babe.
You as well. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye, everybody.
You see, that's NC's tactic to send her nasty people over here and other people who come over here. Those are just people that want to ruin or hurt somebody. When somebody apologizes and they get forgiveness, then that's the end of the subject. It doesn't go on and on and on and on like you want it to. I do wish people, Nikki X, would stop bullying her as well, because she's a very nice lady and she tries really hard. She does things the best way she can, but that's no reason to annihilate her. Um, as long as you understand, you know, I'm trying to be understanding by saying, okay, you feel it coming on and it's starting to affect you, then she's right. Let's end it now on a good note. And my lips are dry. Uh let's end it on a good note, and then we'll come back when she's ready, or we're just going to come back at another time. I mean, I'm going to have her up on my panel again because I thought she was a great person to have up here. I misspelled the title of my stuff round with, I meant for it to be my round table with Mr. and Mrs. P, because one of the things I'm going to try to do is have a round person. It's a round table with different people, so that we can kind of get to know them a little bit more than their job on YouTube. Most of the time we don't really get to meet a person or know little things about, like we know about her now, and it's not meant to be used against her. Um, I didn't ask those questions to be used against her. I asked those questions so that we could get to know her, her personality, the person of Miss Portland. And I found that I have a little bit, in common with her. I didn't realize we were around the same age. I didn't, I loved finding out what, her things she wanted to be in life. And yes, Gold Star Mom, please do call and check in on her, because I'm going to do another live with her at some point when she's better. But, you know, I don't understand nasty people like that. And from now on, just when they come in, I'm just going to boom block them from the first place. I'm not a 2, 3 time kind of person, I say in the first place, just don't do it. But I guess they're so used to being like with Natasha's channel where you get the roll and say what you want and say what you want and say what you want. And she agrees with that. So she allows it. But that's not how it's going to happen here, folks. So, you know, it's not how it's going to happen. I'm not going to let you beat up the person that's on my panel. I'm either going to block you completely or my squirrel's going to block you completely, but it's just not going to happen. It's not what I want for my channel. I want to get to know people. I want to get to know what else goes on in their life. Like who'd you want to be when you were growing up? Did everything like y'all heard here? People say we always talk about her. No, we don't. And when we try to talk about something else besides this certain content creator, you know, then you force us to talk about you by sending the little mice in the room to say bad things. And do I think it's someone else? No, I don't. I think it's, little people from the content creator, people that content creator has made known that how she feels about Miss Portland. And so therefore, they want to come and bother her. She wasn't bothering anybody. Miss Portland was on here. We were talking about everything from top to bottom, but not about this particular content creator. Miss Portland is a hot button for this content creator. I don't know why I call her a content creator, because she doesn't create anything. She creates remashes the same hate over and over and over and over again. Yes, they do NC's dirty work, and I'm just kind of sick of it. I'm sick of her saying, "Why don't y'all do something else? I challenge y'all to do something else." Well, why don't you go do something else? And why don't you keep your little mice that are running around over there? This is why people attack you, because I'm over here having a good time with Miss P, talking about childhood memories, talking about things that, affect us and doesn't have anything to do with you. You are a very minute um, portion, if you want to call it that. It wasn't even pickle size, and yet you send your mice over. So I'm going to set up, my mouse traps for next time, I guess. But I know they come here. We all knew they were going to come here. So
possible troll.
ST
Stoltis.
Stoltis, to be honest, Miss P did threaten suicide on YouTube. I understand that. So let me say it again. And I'm put that on here. Stoltis, whatever. Is it?
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know. I'm tired of thinking about how to say it. Let me say this again, how I feel about that. Okay. In the mornings when you get up, this is the simplest way I can explain it. In the morning when you get up, or this day when you got up, and you made it all the way through the day, and you prayed, if you pray, and you go to bed, the day is ended. It's over. That's how God looks at it. Even if you don't want to accept it, this is how God works. Then you come to the next day. You were given, another chance to live, another chance to have a day. Whatever she did or you do in that day before, it's gone. It's over. Your record with God has been written down. Your good deeds, your bad deeds, they've already been written. And so on this day now, the next time you wake up is a new day. To be, good or bad, it's up to you along the way. If Miss P did threaten suicide on YouTube, I don't know when it was, however long ago it was, that's none of your business. Why are you still talking about it? It's over with. It apparently has been over with. You obviously aren't her friend and looking out for her, because you wouldn't be up here and other people wouldn't be up here bringing up a past event. How is that helping her? Yes, that's true, TV. Why bring up a person's worst day over and over? What is the point of that? Well, the point of that is to make her or drive her back to that thoughts. And that's what you all just did. She was having a good time up here, and all you did was force her into an anxiety, a depression, and all these things. That's a very fine line for someone to sit on who has those types of issues. So if that was your point, you succeeded. Congratulations. Go pop a balloon, go have a soda and some cake, whatever. It's just infantile. That's why the cops were contacted, not for no reason. People get worried. Well, if you're worried, then check on her privately. If you're worried about that, then don't push her toward the next escalation. Don't push her to start thinking about it again. If you're worried about it, then what you should be trying to do is make her happy, not reminding her of the worst day in her life. Because whether you want to accept it or not, the day the person thinks of suicide and keeps thinking about it because of their depression, then that is the worst day of her life. So, what do you get out of reminding her about the worst day of her life? She has the right to go through not a good day like we all do, and then the next then get better. It may not be a whole day, maybe a half a day, maybe 2 hours. It's okay. Just, it's immature. It's really immature. Why would you push a person that you think has the ability to do it? I don't understand that. You act so concerned. I'm so concerned. And yet I'm going to bring it up every time I see her. You're not a concerned person. Stop acting like you are. If you are, then you would stop bringing it up. I mean, we were having a great time. We were having a wonderful time. She was laughing, and we weren't talking about anything that had anything to do with stupid stuff. When I say that, I mean stuff about, her one-time incident, or maybe it's more than one time. You don't know what it's like to be a person that has certain issues that they're not in control of. You don't. No, let me see. You can't threaten suicide on social media and expect no one to hit the report suicide button. You can't expect people in other countries to check on her. Sorry. I understand that. But it wasn't today.
I'm putting this user in timeout. This subject is
No.
It needs to end.
No. My score wants to put you in timeout, but you brought it up. Okay, I'm going to let you stay a few more minutes. So I hope to get the thought through your head. You can't threaten suicide on social media. I understand that. But she didn't do that today. And expect no one to hit the report button. I understand that. You can't expect people in other countries to check on her. I understand that. But they have people here checking on her. She has a husband. That big tall guy we just saw. He's the most immediate person that can help her. So she has a husband. She has friends on here. No, she was not, TV. She was not threatening it just now. No, she wasn't. So you're talking about an incident that wasn't today, that wasn't yesterday. So let it go. You act like a person that, did this threat some time ago. You act like, it's like a tattoo. She did it one time, so she stuck with it forever. No, she's not. And Cole, it's okay to feel bad, but it's not okay to just keep using it as a weapon against her. How is that going to make her better? Using it as a weapon against her is not going to make her better at all. If you want to help somebody who's committing suicide, then be a friend like Gold Star Mom is to her. Be a friend that's there for her to talk through. Be a friend that's there to support her. Be a friend to let her know it's okay. Today's not over. Just support her. Stop with this backlash of something she did. I don't even know when she did it, because you know why? I don't focus on the bad things that you say she's done. I focus on happy things. I focus on making her happy, because that's the important part. That's the important part. Making someone happy is always the important part. We all have bad days. We all have bad times. So with that said, Gold Star Mom wrapped it up. And thank you so much for checking on her. And thank you for supporting me. Thank you all for supporting me. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And if you'd like to make a blessing to my channel, hit the donate button. I don't call it a donate, I call it a blessing. I thank you all for everything that you've done in making this channel, this recording, very fun. And thank you so much for you all coming, and have a blessed day.